Rut Funnel Podcast. Today, we are honored to sit down with Jimmy and Phillip from EZ Guide Fishing Services, two seasoned outdoorsmen with a deep passion for the land, the water, and the tradition of the hunt. In this episode, we're covering a lot of ground, from predator control and challenges of coyote hunting to the pursuit of spring gobblers during turkey season. We'll explore the thrill of morel mushroom hunting, craftsmanship behind woodworking and creating their own box calls, and of course the ins and outs of fishing for everything from catfish, smallmouth bass, trout, crappie, and fly fishing tactics. Whether you're a die-hard hunter, an avid angler, or just someone who appreciates the heritage of the outdoors, there's something for everyone here. So settle in. This is the Rut Funnel Podcast.
I got you.
Okay, cool. I got you both there. It looks like everything on the board's actually working this time. It's recording, so if this doesn't work, I'm just gonna delete you guys and pretend this didn't happen out of embarrassment. How you guys been?
I gotta say, we heard that last time, but yeah, that's good. I'd say that stuff's kind of hard to figure out. Do you got like some sort of meter or something showing you're talking now? Or?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Mm-hmm. And I had never used the new one through Bluetooth before, and I just thought I can see myself talk in the meter, and I just thought, I guess, that I didn't see yours because it was Bluetooth or whatever, and you weren't actually talking into a microphone. But now I can actually see yours. It was just actually just as easy as a button that I had pressed. So that's how it is. But we can go ahead and kick things off here. You guys want to go ahead and do a quick intro about yourselves?
Go ahead, Phillip.
My name's Phillip, the EZ Fishin Guide Service. I grew up around the Lebanon area in Lake the Ozarks. Been hunting and fishing since I can remember. Just pretty much spent most of my time as a kid either on the water in Bennett Springs, and just loving every bit of it, I guess.
Cool.
Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah. Well, my name's Jim Walters. I grew up in the Stoutland area, which is just a little bit east of Lebanon. Hunting and fishing all my life. Love it. I've got 5 boys. They go. My grandchildren fish with me. They're getting big enough now. A couple of them is going to be hunting with me in the next couple of years, so I'm excited about that. My dad's put this into me since I was real young. He used to carry me around on his backpack kind of thing when I was a baby, rabbit hunting and stuff. And I miss the rabbit and quail we used to have. And I do a lot of fishing, hunting, coyote hunting now is my passion. I like deer hunting and all that, turkey hunting, but I'd really like to have the rabbit and quail back like we used to. And coyote hunting is absolutely amazing. I mean, you guys, I know everybody likes calling in them turkeys, but you start calling in them coyotes, it's just a whole new thrill to me. But
yeah, I've actually never done it.
Oh, that's a shame, man. It's slow. Sometimes you go off and it's slow. Phillip had done it before, and then he went with me one time. We went out and got in a double stand, and I put the call out, and just by chance, coyote showed up in a couple of minutes, and we ended up. I shot it with double buck, so it kind of got a couple in it, couldn't get away from us. We had to trace it through the woods and finish it off a little bit. It was pretty exciting for the first.
He says it's slow, but it's fast-paced hunting. If you're there more than 15, 20 minutes, I mean, you're there too long.
Really?
Go somewhere else. That's what we do,
So you just put one of those like electronic collars out there, and it comes looking for hurt prey or something?
Mm-hmm.
It's 2. He's got a good one, and I've got a good one. I've got rabbit decoys and fawn decoys, and we'll even do some crow hunting. I'll throw a black sock on one of those rabbit decoys that shakes around.
They hate that. Yeah, it's awesome. That's a lot of fun.
So you do that during the day, or is that? I've seen people do it at night.
We do a lot of it during the daytime. We were just getting into that nighttime hunting. Philip's got that stuff, the night vision scopes and everything. And,
Oh, really?
but I haven't really jumped that, fence yet to spend that $5,000 on that, infrared scope. That's quite a bit of money to me.
Yeah, it's like
You get the Raptors and stuff about 2.5.
yeah, it's still
Yeah,
good,
that's
coin
still
to drop.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I've got a side arc that I run most of the time, and I think they were about 600 or 700 when they first come out, but they're down to about 350 now.
So
I mean, from what I've seen out of the military equipment, it's clearer than most of the stuff that active duty guys are using.
yeah.
Oh, I'd be interested in that. Yeah.
But,
So have you done it at night with that stuff?
yeah, we can early spring before turkey season and all that, but there's a season here in Missouri that we can use it and call it. But I mean, nothing's going to beat a thermal. You know what I mean?
Right,
It just they just light up. I mean, night vision, you're catching movement, and I mean, eyes light up with your infrared lights and stuff, but that thermal's where it's at.
That's interesting. They don't have hogs where you live, do they?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. We got hogs.
Because I know some places you can hunt
They're
those
not-
at night too.
They're not everywhere here. There's certain regions over around Fort Leonard Wood and certain other places that they are, and they've got, they kind of shut us down here in Missouri because now they've got these pins and the conservation's in on it, and they'll go in and they feed them in and they try to catch the whole group at one time.
Oh yeah,
They claim that. They claim that.
Yeah.
Hunting them like that scatters them.
Scatters them and spreads them out. And
Yeah, that's kind of the weird thing too. Here is they're starting to really run rampant in a place called Land Between the Lakes, and they actually made it illegal. You can't shoot them, and they're all over. And they claim, I guess it makes them breed more or something, and it scatters them, like you said. So they come in with helicopters and shoot them out of fields, and then they have those pins, like you said, but. I really think that it would help out a lot if they just let guys hunt 24/7, day and night, all out there. They'd get rid of them better, I think.
Well, if they let me go over and spread some corn out with my 7 mags, shooting them through the neck, I could probably kill 5 or 6 at a time.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're all feeding in a row like they do,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we could wipe them out a lot, but we just the secret to that, I think, is just get on them. Have a couple guys get on them and stay on them for a week, and then swap out. Have another couple guys stay on them for a week. Just hunt them down,
Yeah, they were
It
getting
takes
bad
kind
too.
of a movement to do it, but
I've seen the helo hunt you're talking about. I was checking it out. There's a place in Texas you can go and just pay to do it full dose, and that would be great.
Well, this is actually the government's coming in and doing it.
Yeah,
I've been out there deer hunting and seen them fly over and swoop down into the fields and start shooting them. And you'll be walking through the woods out there and just find them dead all over from
Right.
just people just shooting
yeah,
in the air.
some of them aren't worth picking up.
Oh, yeah. So let's get into this part though. So you guys run EZ Fishin Guide Service together?
yes, yep.
So how did you guys meet?
Actually,
Kind of a different story there. I have a couple wild boys. My older boys are kind of wild, and we lived over in Lebanon, and I met Philip through them. His grandfather lived across the road from us, and we met them, and I had a pond behind the house, and I don't know, Philip was a little more mature than them two, when it come to the hunting and fishing and the interest in that, and me and him hit it off. Philip's quite a bit younger than I am.
How old are
Which
you
is a
guys?
good thing now that I'm getting older.
Because you said you have
I'm
grandchildren,
55.
right? Okay.
I'm 37. I don't have any kids. I've got 2 dogs, and I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I hear that. So then you guys just got into like fishing together, and you guys were like, "Hey, we both like doing this. Maybe we should start a business doing this."
Yeah, everything kind of went, south. I was in construction, everything kind of went bad back. Gosh, I don't remember if that was 09 or
Yes.
13, somewhere in there. And I just got down in my back. I went to work at boats, building boats up there in Lebanon, Missouri. It's the boat capital of the world. We build more boats here in Lebanon than anywhere in the world. And anyway, I got out of that. I had a back issue, and I was kind of down. And I thought, I like fishing. I like doing it. So I picked it up, and I asked Philip if he'd be interested if I had more than one person, to go. And of course, he jumped on it. He likes it just as much or more than I do.
Yeah.
I mean,
He'll prep for 3 or 4 days, the same as I do for one trip.
Mm-hmm. That's great. So you guys, I was looking. You guys do all kinds of different types of fishing. So, like boats, shores, canoe, smallmouth, trout. Is that right? Catfish, trout, and catfish.
fly fishing, bass fishing, crappie, catfish. I mean, if you can catch it, we'll probably take you.
So do you do it more of? Is it kind of what the client prefers, or is it like what's the season for, or what's biting the best right now? Is that kind of how you target it?
It's exactly that. If you call me and you want to go smallmouth fishing, then that's what we stick on. If you call me and you want to get out, and I talk to you and you've got a younger kid or you've got an older parent, whatever the situation, then we can. We have a variety of different things we do. So I can say, hey, we can, if the water's low, we go in canoes, and we really only take 2 people. We like the privacy of the river because it's mostly river fishing that we try to do. But I do have certain private areas on Lake Ozark that I can go and put the boat in on a private access, and then we go and we do crappie and catfish down on the lake, and we can just about catch them any time of the year. Right now it's phenomenal crappie fishing down at the Lake Ozark, but we just try to cater. We do overnight trips if you want to take people camping. We've met with Boy Scout troops and kind of done a little,
Walk and wade, and
showed them how to cast, showed them different types of baits, gave them lures, gave them fishing rods. Had a really, really awesome time with all the boys. Some of them weren't very interested in it at all, and some of them were gung ho, and some of them wanted to catch a fish but didn't want to touch it.
Yeah. Well,
So
that's cool. It sounds like you run like the full gambit of like somebody that's never been fishing before to like somebody who's like an avid fisherman and stuff. And I don't know.
We like to take. I love one of my best fishing trips that I ever went on was a guy named Phil, and he was an accountant. And he come up here and he caught a 23 5/8 inch smallmouth that weighed 5 pounds 2 ounces. I mean, this is a fish. I've fished this river my whole life, and those are the pop. But I was telling him and talking to him and coaching him the whole way through the whole day. And this guy paid attention to every whisper I said. And that's how he ended up catching that fish and getting it in the boat. It was just phenomenal day. I couldn't believe it. I was so proud of myself and him, But
It's got to be super rewarding too.
Oh, it was great. That guy was, I don't even think his feet touched the ground the rest of the day. He was levitated,
Mm-hmm. It's great, especially for somebody to be able to come down there and get out in nature and then have that kind of experience is pretty awesome.
He'd only caught crappie and catfish. He never even caught a bass.
Really?
Yeah, the river fishing's a totally different ball game than the lake.
Now, do you catch?
It's fun.
Can you catch crappie in the river?
Oh yeah.
Oh really? I always thought crappie were more of a lake fish.
There's certain spots, especially the Gasconade, and they usually spawn a little bit earlier than the crappie in the lake, just water temperature wise. But yeah, you catch them in the river.
So you're kind of taking all that into account, like time of season, the water temperature, water levels, and everything like that, and that's kind of how you make a decision on where you're going to go.
Yep, exactly. If I'm out that day, we took some people. They come down. They want to go smallmouth fishing, and where we were going to stop for lunch was just around the corner. And just I don't know, a few weeks before, I had been down there and we'd caught some crappie around this. I think it was just me. Anyway, I'd caught quite a few crappie around this one brush pile. So I asked the gentleman that was with me. I said, "Would you be interested in trying for some crappie?" He's like, "Yeah." And we went over there and caught enough for lunch.
Nice.
So, I mean, I kept telling him, I said, "This is just a phenomenal day for you. I know you're just walking into this, but we don't usually, it's kind of hard to catch these here. And, you got to really know the river to even find them." And he was just in all over it, and I've got some pictures with them. They beautiful little fish, and they gobbled them up.
So what's your favorite fish to each of you? Smallmouth.
What about you, Philip?
Smallmouth is fun. I don't know, them late nights, after dark, getting on the lake and catfishing, chasing noodles, and I mean, it's just, you never know what you're going to hook into. That's a lot of fun for me, but I do love smallmouth fishing.
Yeah, some of the catfish are huge too.
Well, yeah, but what he's talking about, you can catch them, so many of them.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you that nighttime fishing, as many years as I've done it, when that noodle goes under and stays under for a couple of minutes, and when I get a hold of it, that is the eeriest feeling, pulling that fish up out of that dark water. It still gets me.
We do that, and even when we're doing that, we still take rods and stuff. We'll drift fish, and it's a lot of fun. Sometimes people want to, in the summer, the frog season's in, they'll want to gig, and we got little backwaters in the same places we fish. We can take people and do that too. So
yeah, I guess frog legs. It's nice.
Oh yeah.
So you said you go fly fishing over at Bennett Springs?
I'll fly fish anywhere, even smallmouth or anything like that.
Really?
Yeah, that's where
Philip is really unique when it comes to that fly fishing. He has learned. I just can't. I can't do what he does, and I'm not that bad, but I'm not that nowhere near where Philip is. He's fished with this. He don't. You can't cast back. You have no room. So he's learned to do these casts without the traditional fly casting movement, and it's just unreal to watch him. If he wants to get over in that spot, he'll figure out a roll cast or a flip or something to get that in that spot. And it's pretty unique.
It was a different time when I kind of learned that. Just my parents would take me, and you could do that with kids, and they'd buy me a tag when the whistle blew. I'd be out there all day, and they'd come pick me up at night. But I was picking all this stuff up, from these old men that've been coming down there for years, and just paying attention basically and watching what they're doing because they're catching fish. I want to do that.
Yeah, I've only been fly fishing. I've only been fly fishing a handful of times, but I really enjoyed it every time. I went once in Idaho, once in Colorado, and then a couple times around here. But I went once at Bennett Springs as a kid. I must have been 10 years old probably, and I about killed myself because my parents just left me and let me go, fly fishing on my own, and I had those waders on, and I fell out there.
They'll drag you down.
And my legs went up in the air, and I got trapped underwater. I was like, it scared the crap out of me as a kid.
Yeah.
If you've been to Bennett Springs, did you see Reading's Fly Shop? It's kind of 5-6 miles away from Bennett.
Well, when I went to Bennett Springs, that was when I was like 10, 12 years old or something like that. So I haven't been back as an adult.
I got to fishing, with Jimmy, smallmouth fishing, and I always loved to fly fish. So I'd go and talk to Mr. Reading. He's been all over the world, and he's kind of telling me, well, you catch bass and all kinds of stuff, and he's showing me what to use, and he gave me a lot of inside information, and we use it, on our guide trips today if people want to do that.
Wow, that's awesome.
You get a big smallmouth on a fly rod, and you've really done something. It's one heck of a fight.
I bet.
We know the water. I'll kind of stick myself out here as a guide to say that we know the water down at Bennett Springs. A lot of people don't catch fish when they go there. Mm-hmm. There's certain little quirks and secrets that you got to know, and once you know them, it's easy. I mean, we had some guys come down, and they were staying at it's called Johnson's Shut-In, and it's 3 hours from here. And he called me, and of course I'm up here at Bennett, and he's like, well, I'll just come to you. And I was like, yeah, you'll have to, but he come up, and they'd been fishing down there for 2 days, and I took them out in the boat, went down to a little island in the Niangua, and I got them out of the boat, and I said, all right, show me what you guys have been doing. And they got out there, and they made perfect casts. They knew how to fish the current, but they were reeling. Mm-hmm. But I did that one time, and I said, okay. I said, do that again. And when they cast it out, I said, now stop reeling. And they all caught fish within the first 10 minutes. And that guy looked at me and said, you got to be kidding me. Yeah. I said, no, I couldn't find the bait I wanted. So I had him stop at Walmart in Paducah, mm-hmm. Which is 5 hours from here. And he Paducah, said, Kentucky? Hey, they got all kinds of it. Huh?
Paducah, Kentucky?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were from Kentucky.
Yeah. Okay.
We don't guide in Bennett Springs, but we guide the river from the outflow of it.
Right.
And I mean, always fish fly out of there, and go to the river parts of it.
Yeah, we fish the river part. The Niangua was more what we fish, but those boys were just tickled. They had the right bait, they had everything. They just were doing that one little thing wrong.
Yeah.
And they were on it. After that, other than hooking probably a 6 or 7 pound brown and handing the pole to the kid, and he pointed the pole right at the fish and broke the line.
Yeah.
Other than that, we had a phenomenal day,
Well, that's the thing is that's part of what you're paying for, right? Is sometimes that's all you need is somebody to just watch you and then just be a simple mistake that you don't realize you're doing that someone can rectify within a matter of seconds,
Yep. If you're interested in it, you'll do it, and I mean, it's that simple. I've taken girls, women fishing, and I'll stress on them, I'm like, you got to get it just a little closer to that log or a little closer to the bank. Well, I don't want to get hung up. My philosophy, if you're not getting hung up, you're not fishing. I mean, with the type of fishing we do.
Mm-hmm. And you get hung up, just hand us the pole, we'll hand you another one, keep fishing. We'll take care of it.
Right.
Yep. That's what we do.
Well, I remember the couple times that I went trout fishing, I do remember how frustrating it is because of how clear the water is that you can see the fish, and then I just don't catch them. It's like, well, there's the trout right there.
Yeah, but sight fishing for trout is so. That's another thing. I can spend 30 minutes with someone on the river, and I can show you how to read that current and see that drop off and see that rock or see where those fish will be holding, Mm-hmm. We've been down on the Niangua and in the jet boat and jet down to this one spot we like to go to. We spun the jet boat around, set the anchors, and these guys are over there in a kayak, and I'm like, of course, hey, they were there before us. I'm like, hey, and they're like, hey, I'm like, you guys getting any? And they're standing there in their waders, and they're going, well, we've caught a few, Well, I start casting, and I'm like, they're right at your feet. And they're like kind of looking at me, and we start catching fish, and he's like, well, heck, I'm standing on them. I'm like, yeah, they're right there on you,
Mm-hmm.
And then they get out, of the water, and then they start catching fish, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, there must be hundreds of them here." I said, "Yep, there are. There's hundreds of them laying right underneath that, shoal right over there."
Fish will do that. They find perfect spot, with the conditions they like and water movement, and even down to the gravel. Different types of gravel. You see lines in the water, and that's where that riffle break is, and it goes back into slack water, and you got moving water on one side, slack on the other, and they jump in and out of that when they're feeding. That's where it's at, behind big rocks, and where the water tumbles. It just
you could have a smooth bottom in the current, and then leaves and moss growing over on the side in the slack water, and those fish will be right there on that. They'll be staying in that moss, but they'll jump out. If anything swings by in that clean gravel, they'll jump out of that and grab it.
Mm-hmm. That's what I really like. I really like the deep dive of stuff. Like I'm like that with bow hunting and hunting in general, but like I would like that part of fishing, like the deep dive of like really getting to know like what's going on besides just like throwing your pole out there with a lure or some bait or something. You know what I mean? I like that.
It's
the water and analyzing temperatures and depths and like where the fish would be because of how this is going to be.
we don't take people anywhere that we haven't probably been 100 times.
Yeah.
We've got the experience in certain places, and we're comfortable with them, and we know we can put you on fish. That's why we go to these places.
Yeah.
But fishing's fishing too. There's days when I go myself, and we don't always do real good, but it just kind of you got to pick the day.
Mm-hmm.
And as a joke, I say, "Oh, you pick the day," we didn't catch much, but
thinking about it also, those boats and that stuff you have, that's got to be. You ever get an opportunity to use those for like turkey hunting or something? Because you got to hear birds and stuff while you're out there, right?
I used to go to Truman Lake, and it's Army Corps of Engineers Lake.
Mm-hmm.
And we get out there, before the sun's coming up, and we just pull out in the middle of the lake, shut the motors off, let the waves crash, and then start hitting hoot owl calls, gobbling. And you can hunt on that lake too. You can put deer stand up or turkey hunt or whatever you want. Well, we go kill a turkey and hop back in the boat, go catch some crappie. And it was just a great day.
Oh, that sounds pretty awesome.
If you find morels, that's called the Ozark Grand Slam right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kill a turkey, catch a limit of crappie, and eat morels that day. That's a Grand Slam here in Missouri.
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty good day.
I did that this year. If a pond crappie count, I knew where I could catch a bunch, but I did find morels and kill a bird this year, so all on the same day.
Yeah, tell me about killing your bird. I saw that. That looked awesome.
Man, I almost went to the house. I called 3 birds in, and I don't know, I've got cameras out on this farm all year round, so I know it's out there. They just weren't quite up to par. So, I kind of let them go off, and I had this hen that just would not leave. I'd hear another gobble or something behind me, and finally she'd go off. Well, I'd make a call, and here she'd come right back. And I just couldn't get rid of her. So finally I just quit calling, let her go off, and I changed spots. And I called her right back in and just was pinned down, had a gobbler probably 100 yards from me. And I couldn't do anything. She's right in my lap. And he kind of went on, with some other hens. And I probably drove 1.5 miles or so across this farm. I was looking for mushrooms is what I was doing. I thought, I'll hit my call. And 2 of them gobbled up, probably 100, 150 yards from me, way up this steep hill. I thought, well, I got to go after them now. They're talking. So I climbed and hit like 2 calls, and here they come. And I shot through a hole in the cedar tree, probably about the size of a basketball. It was 25, 30-yard shot. And it went great other than the climb.
Yeah.
Couldn't ask for nothing better than that. So.
That's pretty awesome. That's how I killed 2 birds this year, and that's kind of how my second one goes. I hunted all morning at a spot that I thought was just like I would have said 100% like I was going to kill a bird. Um, and then I didn't see a single bird. And I actually went back to the truck, was putting all my stuff in there, and I heard a noise, and I was like, was that a gobble? And I've had enough times now where, like, if I think it was a gobble, then it was, you know? And then so I was like, well, let me just grab this mouth call here and my gun, and I'll walk into the woods over here on the opposite side of the road that I was hunting. And I walked in there about, 50 yards or so and did some yelps. And yeah, Tom just fired back. He must have been less than 100 yards away on this other side of this creek. So I got about halfway, sat down in a tree, called him a couple more times, and he just came periscoping through the woods looking. So it was.
Yep.
It's amazing how quick things can change, and it's also amazing. I mean, a high number of my birds, I think I have killed from just being out there. Like, it hasn't been roosting them, catching them on fly down. It's just been like, well, the morning didn't go that great, and now I'm just sitting out here having some water or lunch or something, and I hear a bird gobble, or I think I do a couple 100 yards away, and then I go find one out there that just started talking mid-morning.
I've started taking a thermos of coffee, and I get whooped a couple times. I'll just go back, sit on the four-wheeler or whatever we're in, and just drink coffee till I hear a gobble. I mean, it just...
Yeah.
Days they whoop you, and there ain't nothing you can do, but sometimes it works out.
Mm-hmm. And you make your own calls?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been doing it for a few years now, and I really enjoy just making them. I've actually got some going to Georgia tomorrow.
How'd you get into that?
I started cutting in Millwood, and just basically, my old lady, she just wanted a cutting board, and I thought, well, I'll make you one. I started doing it, and turkey season come up, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna try to make a turkey call. So I kind of...
He probably wanted a box call and went and seen they were $35, $65 and was like, I can make one of these.
Yeah, well, $35, $65.
It's pretty crafty.
Cheap now.
Yeah, that's cheap now. Some of these homemade ones I'm seeing go for like $350.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I try to work with people, I think the top price on anything I do is about $80. I mean, you got to pay for shipping, but depends on what size and all that, and what kind of wood you want in it, and what you want it to sound like. This one I personalized for a guy that's going out tomorrow. It had it's a different type of maple. There's a hardwood maple on one side and a smalted maple on the other,
mm-hmm.
and it sounds two different birds in the same kind of box call. It took me like 2 days to tune it, just to where I'm like, all right, this is going to do really good for this guy, and I'm comfortable with it. And
that's nice. That's nice that you have that like customization, and then like that attention to detail where like you're tuning the guy's call for him before he even gets it, and it's not just like,
if I tell you what, if I don't like it, it don't go out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll set it aside or pick it up and a week or two later and mess with it. But no, if I wouldn't use it in the woods, I'm not going to send it to someone else to use in the woods. So
yeah, that's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool skill to just pick up. Basically, because your wife wanted a cutting board.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of cutting boards now too, so she's happy.
Yeah, well, those cutting boards go for good money too.
I've thought about. I tell you what, on rain days like this, that's probably where I'm at. I'm probably running through a planer and making an ungodly amount of noise, but I do enjoy it.
Yeah. So another thing I was looking at is you were sending me pictures of like the insane amount of morel mushrooms you guys are finding. So I never find it. I mean, I find them on accident when I'm out turkey hunting sometimes, but you guys actually go out there looking for them. So like, what are you looking for when you go out there to be able to find that many?
I mean, I kind of look all year round, which I really enjoy hunting them. But I'll notice trees all year round, and think, man, that's a good spot for a morel in the spring. But mostly elm trees, dying elm trees or dead elm trees, where you got the bark that's starting to fall off, good leaf cover and direction, soil temperature, water drain off. So, I mean, it's it's that time of the year. You're looking for about 40-degree nights, 60-degree days. You got to have enough moisture and enough time and sunlight in certain spots where they pop up. But I find I do a lot of walking. And I mean, whether I'm hunting or whatever, just checking cameras. I mean, you just find them and you remember those spots. And I can just take a four-wheeler out now and just go to spot after spot after spot, and that's how I get so many.
Yeah, I guess once you find them in a certain area, then unless something major happens, then that area is probably pretty good for them the next year, huh?
Yeah, I mean, as long as you ain't out there with a rake looking under leaves and stuff, you know where you're finding them. They'll probably come back the next year.
I think a couple of the key things is like I like a northeast slope or a east slope, and where it gets sunlight in the mornings. You know, it gets pretty warm. And then one thing is that I also pay attention to is if I'm walking up that slope and I get to a certain elevation, I like to stay, you know, when I find some, then I try to stay in that same elevation on that slope back and forth. And I usually do pretty good, you know, and like if you're down low, like Philip was saying, down in a creek bottom or something, and you find some, you know, look on that same elevation, that creek bank, you know, and they should be there or a little above it, you know. And then my dad has always taught me, like, if you find them, you know, in a drainage, they could be all the way to the bottom. So, you know, those are good spots to, you know, below that elevation of where you're finding them, there's usually more.
So do you ever look at like a topo map and be like, this is where I'm going to go look for them, or is it more just like just go out and just walk?
Around here where we're at, it's not like in Colorado. We're around most of the time. Yeah, like if you're down at the river, you're probably around 700, you know, feet, you know. And then if you're at the top of the point around here, you're around at the most probably 1,200. So we don't have that much of a elevation. I mean, that's not really nothing compared to, you know, on a topical map. You see what I'm saying? Like, now we do use those on lakes, you know, or depth of the water.
Really?
Oh yeah, especially like the Ozarks. I even use old nautical maps. I mean, from basically before it was flooded, you can see the old roads and bridges and crossings and all that old structure that's still there under the lake. And I mean, that stuff holds fish too. So,
and here, those maps aren't that important because we have rolling hills. They call them Ozark Mountains, but you know, if you walk a couple hundred yards, you're at the top. A couple hundred yards, you're at the bottom. Now, it can be straight up,
right? Yeah,
and straight down.
Yeah, I was gonna say that doesn't sound like that much elevation change until you're out there walking it, and that sounds like a lot.
It is. I mean, you know, it could be 200 yards to your destination, but it can be straight up. I mean,
yeah, because
it's pretty steep around.
Because I'm in Kentucky, and we have portions over in the northwestern portion here that, you know, have rolling hills and like kind of like that. I think yours are greater than ours, but sometimes.
Are you in parts Shawnee National Forest?
That's in Illinois, right?
Paducah.
I am 1 hour away from Paducah. Southeast. I'm 1 hour southeast of Paducah.
I went to a climbing school up there, and it was kind of a.
So you around Pickwick Dam, Pickwick Lake? No, it's further than that.
No, I'm actually on Lake Barkley. I live near.
What is it?
Lake Barkley. It's
Barkley.
It's near Land Between the Lakes, and then the other lake on the other side is Kentucky Lake.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people go to Kentucky Lake. A lot of people go fish the dam up there for catfish too, up in like Eddyville.
So is Hamilton Lake is down there too? I can't remember the name. There's a bigger reservoir. It's a little bit further south.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not familiar with all the lakes. I don't do much fishing myself. I want to start again because I used to a
So you
lot
got
as a
big
kid.
stripers down here?
Yeah, I think so. Hmm.
Yeah.
He's in a good spot. I've seen his trail cam photos. They've got some awesome deer up there.
Yeah, yeah, they do all over. Yeah, I hunt about 3 different portions of public, and then this year is the only year I don't have any private, so it's just going to be all public this year, which is fine. But it's getting so crowded out there. It's getting like to be such competition. I mean, one of the places that I hunt, I mean, there's just so many trucks now, and I don't know where they all came from because like 5 years ago they weren't all there. So I don't know.
It gets popular around, and then but it's just a couple weeks out of the year
Mhm.
that they come around here. I'm lucky enough to have private land, and
Yeah,
Philip's lucky enough to hunt over there where he's at, and we have a lot of property that we have permission to hunt coyotes on, but we are absolutely strict on do not shoot deer, do not mess with the deer. I want to tell you, Ronnie, we can be out and we see the biggest deer in the county
yeah.
coyote hunting.
Hmm.
It'll come in. They'll come running into us. We'll be slipping around a field, edge of a field early in the morning, looking out in the alfalfa field, and there they are. And I mean, it's huge old bucks,
Hmm.
There's Jimmy's there. There was at least 22 bucks in the field bottom when we slipped in there, which when we're coyote hunting, I mean, it's just like deer season, but we're being super quiet, really paying attention to the wind on where we're entering. And I mean, you're sneaking right in on stuff, so you get to see it.
Yeah. Well, that coyote hunting sounds fun. Can you do
It
that?
is.
Can you do it all year, or is there only a season for it in Missouri?
Yeah. Now there's a certain time, like in February, they have a breeding season. I think it's like 14 days.
There's 20 days out of the year we can't do it. You can do it during turkey season, but you got to use a shotgun. And after turkey season, you can use
To actually be turkey hunting.
Yeah.
When you're doing it, but
I see what you're saying.
the rest of the time we are after them. I'm into right now. I can't wait to get out. They cut those hay fields, and I'll go out there with my call and hide down there by them hay bales and put that baby cottontail
Mm-hmm.
in the evening. Oh my gosh, you could have 4 or 5 run in on you at one time. It's so fun.
Yeah, I have
The
had
farm
coyotes come into my turkey calls, turn around, they're right there,
Yeah.
or like had them go out to my decoys.
Shoot them.
Yeah, I've shot one with my bow before, but I mean, I wasn't coyote hunting. I was just, deer hunting or
I've
something
only-
else.
But it was awesome.
Yeah.
The farm I hunt here, the past 3.5 years, I've killed 56 coyotes off of it.
Really?
56 or 56. But it just, if you're in good farmland, especially if there's cows or any kind of good productive fields, I mean, it seems like the more you take out, the more they kind of come in a sense. I mean, they're not going to waste a food source, I guess is what I'm saying. So
I think where Philip's at, what he's done is he took out the dogs that were in charge, the area animals.
Mhm.
And what's happened is the other dogs are moving in. Well, as the other dogs move in, they're not as familiar with Philip.
Mm-hmm.
So Philip's out there on them all the time.
Mhm.
So
it's working out, whatever they're doing. I don't.
Okay, yeah. So he's taking out like the local ones, and then the other ones are coming in to kind of fill the void or whatever, and take over the territory. And then he's out there just swacking them as they're coming.
and they're not aware of what's there, and of course Philip's there every day with the cattle and whatnot, and then if they run into Philip, they don't get away.
It seems like there's
No,
so many coyotes now. Like where I am, I hadn't seen a coyote until 10, 15 years ago. And then now I see them all the time, and they're like all over.
I used to never see them until I started hunting them. It seems like once you get the silhouette, you know what they look like, and kind of get your eyes trained, you see them a lot. I mean, just
Yeah.
it takes to pick them up because they are slick creatures. I mean, they're one of the most challenging things I've ever hunted.
Well, that's got to be cool too for the people around you, because they got to appreciate that you're going out there and killing all those coyotes. I know a lot of people don't like having coyotes around, and they are for sure a menace. I know that one of my coworkers, he was on a vengeance of killing coyotes for a while because they came in and killed his dog one day. So,
Oh, I bet.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I hear that story a lot about people getting a coyote in their yard and it kills their cat or it kills their little dog and stuff. So,
They'll jump your fence, take your cat or whatever, and just take off with it.
yeah.
I know.
They are different. They're not a dog. They are a different animal. If you study their behavior, they are some of the creepiest acting things I've ever seen. I mean, and they're very aggressive. There's people that raise them, and they just nip and bite and growl and all the time, and it's the person that feeds them. I mean,
yeah,
they're just not. They're not a. Yeah, they're not a domesticated dog.
Right.
So people look at them and say, "Oh, it's so pretty and fuzzy and
cute.
sweet looking," and they are, but their nature is mean, conniving, cutthroat.
To me, I look at them like nasty little things.
About October, when they start kicking those pups out, and breeding season's coming on, they get vicious. They do. I mean, you get two dominant dogs or two male dogs that's trying to breed the same female, and they go to fighting. And I mean, I don't know if I should say this on your podcast, but they'll straight up for the balls. I mean, if they can take off that other dog, he's no longer in the element. He's no longer a threat to that other male dog.
Yeah, it's amazing how vicious they are. That's wild. That's like
nature.
That's like the people that Colorado decided to reintroduce wolves out there. It's like, man, I don't think you guys know what you're asking for. Once those things start coming in the cities and stuff.
Yeah, they've got a lot of stuff I've been seeing online about that. They're petitioning and get them out of there. But
yeah,
I think California reintroduced grizzly bears. I don't think that's a good idea either.
Yeah, no, that is a terrible idea. I mean, grizzly bear is basically just a giant killing machine. I mean, a grizzly bear is just a monster. Like it's literally just a monster. But
that's another animal that people think, oh, it's cute and fuzzy. Yeah, but that is not. It's not feeling human emotions. It's a complete monster. It's a complete animal. I mean, it'll walk up to you just acting like nothing's wrong, and then grab a hold of you, bite you in half, and bury half of you, drag the rest of you off and eat you. That's their nature.
Yeah. I mean, nature's wild because, I mean, it's like those bears, you can sit there and just, they'll eat something while it's still alive, and it doesn't bother them one bit. They're just sitting there mounting down on, taking a break, just holding down an elk or something, eating its hindquarters. It's like,
that's why I don't like the coyotes. They'll to get a deer down. If they can get a hold of it, they won't let go, and if they tear its back leg up, they will absolutely eat that animal from that back leg, and it'll be down, and they'll still be eating on that back leg, and that animal's still alive. I just I think that we would be better off without as many of them as we have.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, the population's just exploded. I always wondered too. I had I had the biggest deer I've ever seen on trail camera this year, probably like 180 inches or so on public land. And I had a video of it. It was walking with a limp. It looks like somebody probably shot it in the shoulder with a bow or something like that. I don't know. But I never saw that deer again. And I almost bet that, the coyotes got to it. Because I think that once they know something's wounded like that, I think that they'll take full advantage of that, even on a giant old buck,
I'll tell you, that's what Jimmy even seen this when we was hunting together, or pre-hunt, kind of learning where everything was at. But bobcats, I had one 2 days ago, and it was big as my healer. I mean, I found, I think it was last year, or the year before, nice 8-point buck in velvet, and I mean he either coyotes or a bobcat because something had chewed all over that thing and taken it out, and it was still in velvet. I mean, that's a big deer.
Yeah. Well, bobcats
When you
are just
find a
little killing
kill,
machines.
when you find a kill like that, my big tell is a bobcat will pull the hair.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to eat the hair. A coyote, they don't care. They eat the skin. They'll eat it all. They'll eat everything. But if you find a kill that's got a spot eating on it, and there's a big bunch of hair, that's usually bobcat.
Interesting.
I've got some trail cam photos I'd put in a tree because I found a deer kill, and the bobcat and everything was still coming into it. It was all covered up with leaves. And
yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is I had talked to people that they had found deer out in the woods, and they had found it covered up in leaves, like buried, and they were saying it's probably some sort of cat.
Yep.
Which you probably got lines up there too, don't you?
I don't know. Every once in a while, there's like reports of them. Like I've never seen one, but like there's reports of them come through. We actually had a black bear come through the park here last summer. I don't know where it is now, but I know that it was all over the news here because we don't have bears here. They think that it walked like 100 miles or something.
They do migrate, I guess, just like everything.
Yeah, but we don't have them, so nobody knows why it came here, and I haven't heard about it in a year, so that kind of, I wonder where it went.
There's one, I think, last year killed about 15 miles from Lebanon. I mean, I think they've got some of them collared to where stations checking up on them, in the spring.
We have a season here in Missouri now.
Oh, for bears?
They killed 5 or 6 last year, and 5 or 6 the year before. I think it's still a drawing type hunt, but it's not an over-the-counter buy. But
same with elk,
Yeah, we have elk. They've established. Yeah,
that's good though that you have a bear season now because like I know you can go down to Eastern Tennessee and go to like Gatlinburg or Pigeon Forge or stuff like that, and you really have to consider. The bears coming into your house there because you leave trash out and stuff. The bears will just come roam around the neighborhood. A guy just got in trouble for shooting one because it came in his garage while his family was there and died.
I've seen that.
And they got the guy in trouble for shooting the bear. So we'll see if that sticks or anything. But I mean,
I don't see how that could, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm shooting. If a bear comes in my garage with kids in there, I'm shooting it.
Yeah, it's getting whacked.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean.
But I want to be respectful of you guys' time here. We're coming up on an hour here, so let's do an outro here where you guys tell people where they can find you, how if they want to make reservations or with you or stuff, or use your fishing services, how they can go about doing that.
Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, okay. You can always email us at the letter E, the letter Z, and then fishing without the G, FISHIN, EZFishin1@gmail.com. And you can call me, Jim Walters, 417-718-1108. We do daytime 4-hour 8-hour trips. It's usually 6 hours of fishing on the 8-hour trip, and we like to take lunch and feed you lunch and feed you your catch if it's trout or crappie, and we pay a lot of attention to the rules and regulations. There's a lot of those around on the little rivers and stuff that we fish to keep everybody out of trouble. We require a fishing license, either a 3-day or whatever you want to get here in Missouri as your fishing permit. We supply all your bait, tackle, life preservers, everything. And we like to only take 2 people, 1 or 2 people. And if we do take 2 people, then I would be with one, Philip would be with the other. And we have high water times, low water times, high water times, we're usually in jet boats. We run around to different spots, and we like to smallmouth fish and trout fish in those. And then when we get low water times later in the year, then that's when we break out the canoes and stuff. And, we really slow down and try to bring, what we have to offer from the Ozarks to people.
Mm-hmm.
It's just beautiful. We absolutely love it around here.
Yeah. And you guys have an Instagram and a Facebook page, I think right under the same user handle, EZ Fishin Guide Service.
Phillip handles the Instagram. I was actually just checking it out the other day. I do the Facebook page, and you can get a hold of either one of us. Phillip, you tell them your phone number.
My phone number is 417-650-4873. Any questions or anything, I'm happy to answer them for you.
Okay. Yeah.
And he does the walk and wades, and he's closer to Bennett Springs than I am. The night fishing for catfish, Phillip's right up your alley. I mean, we have some phenomenal times with the people we take. We just like to get out and enjoy the nature.
Yeah.
Enjoy what's here.
I'm going to actually have to, maybe not this summer, but next summer probably book something with you guys, because my sister just bought her retirement house. She just bought a house down on Lake of the Ozarks down there. So it'll be nice. I'll go visit her and come see you guys.
What mile marker is she at,
I don't know. I don't know any of those details yet. She just got it just recently, so I haven't even been there yet. So
awesome.
Okay, guys. Well, I appreciate your time, and I appreciate you guys sticking with me as I work through the technical issues and stuff of learning how to use this stuff.
Yeah, let us know how it come out.
Okay, I will. It'll probably come out next Monday, so I'll send it to you.
All right, good talking to you, Ronnie.
All right, appreciate it, Ronnie.
All right, see you guys. Bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.
That's going to be a wrap for this episode of the Rut Funnel Podcast. A big thanks to Jimmy and Phillip from EZ Guide Fishing Services for sharing their time, their stories, and their knowledge. If you're looking to get on the water and put fish in the boat, or just learn from two guys who live and breathe the outdoors, make sure to check them out. As always, we appreciate you tuning in. If you enjoyed the show, leave us a rating, share with a friend. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Until next time, stay sharp, hunt hard, and respect the wild. It's Rut Funnel Podcast.